Okay, take a second. Think about your workday. I mean, chances are you're interacting with your colleagues, right? Maybe in person, maybe on screen.
More than almost anyone else.
Exactly, more than almost anyone. So it's kind of natural that, friendships start to form.
It makes perfect sense.
But here's the thing that maybe pops into your head sometimes. Are these connections, these friendships, actually helping your career? Or could they be, I don't know, subtly holding you back? And is there, a line? Can you be too friendly at work?
That's such a great question. It's a real dilemma, isn't it? Because, look, we all want connection. It's human.
Yeah.
Especially when you spend so many hours working.
Right. 8 hours a day, sometimes more.
Exactly. But then the workplace, well, it needs objectivity, doesn't it? It needs clear lines. So today we're going to dive deep into this whole complex world, workplace connections.
We are. And our mission, really, for this deep dive is to unpack it all. Why connections matter, why they're maybe even crucial for success. But also, where are the traps, the pitfalls? And, most importantly, how can you build good, solid relationships, but keep it professional? Protect your own sanity,
Yeah, your well-being is key. We've looked at a bunch of stuff for this, psychology research, but also just real stories from people dealing with this exact thing.
And here's something to mull over right at the start, maybe a bit provocative.
Okay.
What if this whole idea, this concept of work friends, is actually fundamentally flawed?
Yeah.
Misguided, even.
Ooh, okay. Starting strong. That definitely makes you pause, doesn't it? Are we chasing the wrong thing here?
It does. So let's start unpacking. Why are connections seen as so important? Let's make the pro-connection case first, because, that desire to feel connected at work, it's powerful for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It really is. Think about this one survey found, 85% of HR folks and 77% of employees, they all agree feeling connected is important.
Wow, those are high numbers.
Huge numbers. It's not just fluff. It's basic human needs stuff. And, this idea of employee connection, and often gets talked about as social capital.
Social capital. Oh, okay. What does that mean, practically speaking, in an office context?
Think of it like a bank account.
Yeah.
But for goodwill and trust between people, it's a real asset. You build it up through genuine care, showing you've got someone's back.
Especially if you work closely together, right?
Exactly. Or maybe if you don't interact that much day to day, it's built on just trusting someone's competence. Do you trust them to do their job, to deliver?
Right. And the payoff, the benefits for people and for the company, they seem pretty big. I saw Gallup had some data.
Yeah, Gallup's findings are striking. Having close friends at work can boost satisfaction by 50%. 50. And those people, 7 times more likely to be fully engaged.
More than 5.
I know. And that's not just about feeling warm and fuzzy. That directly impacts things like people sticking around longer, liking their jobs more. Companies love that.
Of course they do. Less turnover, more productivity.
Precisely. And it goes beyond just engagement. These bonds, they naturally build trust, rapport. When you feel connected, you're just more likely to communicate openly.
Yeah, feel safer.
Totally. Safer to ask for help, safer to trust your boss, your team. It creates this really supportive vibe, and that's when information actually flows.
So it's not just about comfort, it actually makes the team smarter, more effective. How does that work day to day? This well-rounded education idea?
Okay, yeah. So when info flows freely, you get different viewpoints you wouldn't normally see, maybe someone in marketing shares something cool from a campaign.
Or a tech person explains a limitation to sales.
Exactly, that kind of cross-pollination. It's like learning outside the official training manuals, and it actively breaks down those walls, those silos between departments. You get a much bigger picture.
And personally, it seems like it helps people grow, too.
Good connections. You can talk about challenges, personal and professional. You can figure out work-life balance, handle stress better. It all adds up.
Better productivity, more innovation, the whole package.
Yeah, a workforce that's cohesive, engaged, performs better. It really paints a strong picture for why connection matters.
It really does. But, there's always a but, isn't there?
There usually is.
Despite all these benefits, lots of places are dealing with this connection gap, especially now with remote work and everything. Interactions feel, transactional.
Very transactional. You might spend, 30% of your time on video calls, seeing the same people, but are you really connecting?
That's the question.
Yeah, and folks like Chip and Dan Heath at Stanford point out, connection isn't just talking, it's about feelings. Warmth, empathy, feeling validated. And if our virtual setups are just about efficiency, getting stuff done, Well, they might cut out friction, but they often fail to build those deeper human ties.
Which leaves people feeling kind of lonely, disconnected.
Yeah, siloed, disjointed, disengaged, all those things.
Yeah. So, okay, if good relationships don't just magically happen, especially remotely, it sounds like companies maybe need to actively build ways for people to connect.
Yes, build the infrastructure for it, which leads us neatly into the other side of this coin.
The double-edged sword.
Exactly. When friendships go wrong, when you fall into the friendship trap.
The friendship trap. It sounds ominous. Because those lines, business and personal, they can get so blurry, right? Almost without you noticing.
They really can. And suddenly, personal stuff starts messing with professional stuff, even small things. Makes business decisions way harder. And that leads to something called double anxiety.
Double anxiety. Okay, what that?
It's like a double hit. You've got the external stress, right? The work problem, the disagreement. But then because it's with a friend, it hits your internal sense of self-worth too.
Ouch.
Yeah, it feels personal. Like a rejection damages your professional side and your inside feelings, your interdependent self-schema, as the psychologists call it.
Wow, okay, so the stakes just feel way higher. You mentioned an example.
Yeah, there was one about these two business partners, also really good friends. And they hit a snag, a minor project detail, really. But one partner was just so worried about upsetting the other, the friend, that they basically caved, let their own better judgment go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the project went ahead, but that small thing, it just sat there, festering, resentment building up. That's the trap right there.
Yeah.
Compromising professionally to keep the peace personally.
And that resentment, it undermines everything quietly, but the problems can be louder too, right? Like actual drama, clique.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
As one source said pretty bluntly, workplaces are not reality shows. But sometimes
They feel like it.
they can. When people start making alliances just to, push their own agenda or get policy changed their way, it often ends badly. People hate their jobs, they burn out, they get disappointed when their friends don't back them up.
And what about when the friend is the boss? Or you're the boss? That seems extra tricky. Favoritism.
Huge potential for favoritism or cronyism.
Yeah.
If decisions are made based on who you're close to, not on merit, that kills morale.
Yeah, everyone else sees it.
They do. And it leads to disengagement, poorer performance, even just the perception of that unfairness. It destroys trust across the whole organization.
And then there's just emotional drain. We saw that Reddit thread, right? The social worker.
Oh, yeah, that was intense.
Colleague just constantly oversharing personal stuff, seeking reassurance all day long, even when the social worker said, hey, I need to focus.
And the colleague just kept going, leading to massive stress, emotional fatigue, making it hard to even do the job.
Such a real problem.
It really highlights a key difference, doesn't it, between real friends, people you can be totally yourself with, and work relationships.
Yeah, how so?
Well, work relationships, they're complex by default. There's money involved, promotions, power dynamics that can poison the well, as one source put it.
Right. Changes things.
Totally. And also confusing colleagues with family, like the work mom or work dad thing, that often backfires too, because the expectations are just fundamentally different.
Okay, so lots of potential downsides. But here's a curveball. I saw this Psychology Today piece. It said recent studies show coworker relationships are actually one of the least important factors for job satisfaction for many people.
Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah. Only 11% ranked it top. That really makes you think about boundaries, doesn't it? Maybe we over-focus on the friend part.
It definitely challenges that simple narrative, you must have best friends at work to be happy. It suggests, positive connections are good, but maybe deep friendship isn't the main driver for everyone. And sometimes it can even get in the way.
So, given all this, the good, the bad, the complicated, how do we actually navigate it? How do we get the benefits without falling into the traps?
Boundaries? It really all boils down to the art of boundaries.
The art of boundaries, okay. And one source said something really powerful. Clarity is calming.
Yes, I love that. Because our brains treat uncertainty, ambiguity as a threat. So being clear, even if it's not what someone wants to hear, it's actually powerful. It removes the stress of guessing.
Makes sense. And for leaders, there's that balanced triangle idea.
Right. Approachability, accountability, and boundaries.
Yeah.
You got to juggle all three. You can be liked and respected, but you constantly have to ask yourself, okay, what's my main role right now? Friend or leader?
Like that manager, Amanda, you mentioned.
Exactly. She had a conflict between a team member she was friendly with and someone else. She realized, okay, my job here is leader. I have to prioritize the team, the company goals, even though it might strain that friendship temporarily. Tough, but necessary.
And boundaries aren't just one thing, are they? There are different types.
Loads. Mental boundaries, like protecting your focus. Time boundaries, when you work, when you don't. Emotional, what you take on from others. Conversational topics you will or won't discuss. Even home life boundaries.
And you need to know which are like your hard lines, non-negotiable, and which have some wiggle room.
Knowing your non-negotiables beforehand makes it so much easier in the moment. The decision's already made.
So, practically speaking, how do you set these boundaries? Sometimes it feels awkward.
It can be.
Yeah.
But direct communication, honestly, is often best. Like those examples from Reddit. Sorry, I really need to focus on this report now. Clear, polite, firm.
Or, I don't have the emotional capacity for this right now. That takes guts, but it's honest.
Totally. And sometimes nonverbal cues work too. Headphones on, even with no music. Or a little sign saying, focus time.
Little signals.
Exactly. And you can soften it by offering an alternative, right? Can we chat at lunch? Or about 3 p.m., just you're not just shutting them down completely.
Okay. And specifically for avoiding that friendship trap, Melody Wilding had some tips.
Yeah, really practical stuff.
Right.
First, draw the line. Be upfront that your career goals are a priority. Stick to your bottom line and decisions. Don't let friendship override professional judgment.
Got it. What else?
Second, keep it professional. Limit the purely social chit-chat during work hours. Save the deeper personal stuff for outside work. Create that mental separation.
Makes sense. Third,
the more the merrier. Build a wider network. Introduce people. Connect others. It takes the pressure off any single intense friendship and builds a broader support system.
spreads the load.
Yeah. And finally, know what friends are for. A real friend respects disagreement. If your work buddy gets upset over professional differences, that's a big red flag. Time to question if it's really a friendship or just proximity.
That's a really good point. Which brings us back to building connections intentionally, maybe thinking beyond just friendship.
Exactly. Understanding the difference between networking and friendship is key. Networking, that's more about professional goals, maybe a bit transactional, objective. Friendship, that's more about social connection, personal benefits.
So the aim isn't necessarily BFFs at work.
Not necessarily. It's about cultivating strong, valuable professional relationships, built on respect, less baggage, willingness to collaborate properly, and they can be super satisfying and good for your well-being too.
Okay, so how do we build those kinds of connections?
Well, Cronus suggests 3 ways. First, one-on-one between teammates. Build that through caring, responding, having real conversations, sharing relevant stuff, really listening, like peer coaching.
Okay, what's second?
Second, one-on-one between different teams. Bridge those silos. Find common ground maybe through shared training or groups with common interests. Focus those chats on solving problems together using different skills.
And third?
Third, many-to-many across a whole team. And here, leaders are crucial. They need to design ways for the team to have shared experiences. Create that feeling of synchronicity, of being in it together.
Overcoming challenges together.
Yes, and having a really clear shared sense of purpose. Understanding the why.
And mentoring fits in here too, right? Structured programs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Peer mentoring, group mentoring, buddy systems. They're great structures for building connections naturally. People learn together, interact socially, become more accountable. It helps build those strong bonds, including friendships, but in a supported, intentional way.
It really seems like being deliberate, being intentional, and having clear boundaries, they aren't just nice ideas, they're actually practical tools.
Totally. Keys to a workplace where people feel connected and can get their work done effectively. Good for everyone.
So wrapping this up, thinking about all this for you, the listener, navigating your own work life, it's pretty clear, isn't it? It's not about avoiding connection, not at all.
No, definitely not.
It's about being smart, intentional, setting boundaries that work for you. The goal maybe isn't best friends, but valuable professional relationships. Trust, respect, shared purpose.
Those are the connections that really help your career and your well-being.
They really are.
Exactly. And so with work and life blurring more and more, maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. How will you redefine what friendship actually means in your work life? How will you make sure it empowers you instead of draining you?